My name is Sanjeev Madavi. I am the Chief Digital Transformation Officer for Khimji Ramdas Group. We are a conglomerate of about 50 different businesses operating in 4 different vertical clusters. This includes luxury and lifestyle, logistics and projects, consumer packaged goods and retail, and the fourth is infrastructure and services. So we are a 150-year-old organization based out of Muscat, Oman, but we also operate in UAE and in India in a large way. Yeah, I think the idea was that I was onboarded by the board over on top of the CIO. So the CIO and the entire IT organization was reporting to me as a new person to come over. I think there were 2 basic ideas. We were looking at a techno-functional expertise amalgamation. So we know somebody who can understand business and understand technology. Most critically, how you can make technology human. So in that essence, I think we realized that the foundational layer is always the infrastructure. It's always the setup as to how data moves from A to B through the physical network. The second layer, as I try to call it, is more in terms of the applications and I would say the process automation part of it, how we can construe applications, be it ERP, CRMs or others, in order to facilitate user productivity. And the third layer on top of all of this is actually about business intelligence, and that is the most sought after layer by the leadership, by the board members, because they have to continually make decisions which will be impacting the strategy or the forthcoming days of the organization. So I believe these 3 layers are actually the current challenge. They're constantly evolving, and it's not that we have to target one layer before the other. We have to continuously, dynamically get all the 3 of them aligned in a continual fashion. That I think is a strong challenge for today. It's a very interesting question, because I think as I have been on both the sides of the table and both sides of the fence, as you may call it. So trying to have consumer sales around IT. On the other hand, now you become a customer for such vendor solutions. So you understand both the sides of the story very well. And as much as it is about, as we call, a margin game, it is also the value enablement as well as the perceived value from the customer side. So today, sitting on the other side of the table, the first thing I always expect all of my IT colleagues, vendors, partners to come up with is to have a value proposition which is very, very endearing. Now, as you know, coming into the CXO league, you need to start worrying about money more than you worry about the technological aspect or the technical, I would say, alignment between different systems or different layers. This is more about how the money can actually grow further. And if you can aid in that business, you really have achieved what you have been brought in there for. So for me, I think that the core challenge then lies in how we are going to look at technology as an enablement to make it absolutely invisible where it is not required to be seen. At the same time, customer experience demands that we need to make technology visible to a certain set of stakeholders. How do you make it easy, human, as well as very, very friendly for them to associate with and to continue using it? For the employee experience, it's all about simplicity, how we can make the process and the system so merged in together that everything becomes seamless, everything is very, very easy for them to interact with and conduct business. I think in essence, again, I'm taking a rather traditional route in this, as I mentioned to you. I'm first looking at the infrastructure layer, followed by an integration layer, which will bring along all my data together, followed with a process automation and a business process management layer. Then you follow it with a data lake, a corporate data lake, or data ocean, as you may call it, followed with the business intelligence. So I think I'm taking that more structured, I would say layered cake approach, because this is a tried and tested method. It's been there for the last 20 years, and ever since I have become part of the industry in 1999, I realized this is exactly the way organizations need to transform themselves. Now, having said that, when we look at the new emerging technologies of the future, I think the one thing which has a very, very significant impact to be still seen yet is more in terms of the mobility, and actually I would say the convergence of mobility along with real-time GPS, and I would say more from a drone or from a UAE unmanned aerial vehicle kind of a perspective. Why? Because again, this is something which I believe truly affects everything from logistics, supply chain, operational visibility, I would say security measures in terms of monitoring of infrastructure and whatnot. So I see these amalgamation has to be the one thing which we need to wake out for, as well as make some very, very quick inroads into them.